determine the lantern, as professed by Heirophant, Odnamida, Ecnerwal, Dnomvar, Sicnarf, Nohj. 1. Conceive. 2. Seek. 3. Find. 4. Build. 5. Cleanse. 6. Destroy. 7. Exist. We are here to destroy you, and, in so doing, to save you from yourself. We are neither pre- nor post-apocalypse. The planet is not scorched, or drowned in ice. No volatile expansion, and no great cataclysm. There is only the prison. You are sleeping, trapped, face down. With this knowledge comes unrest unequivocal to prior understanding. Remain. Learn the substance of the darkness, occupy it, and gather the tools of your salvation. At once, you will live in immeasurable gratitude, and always see fit to give more. Simultaneously, you will be insatiable, requiring the entire world. Balance is a gift. It is earned. At the onset, know this: you are loved. You will struggle. Through struggle you will maintain love. Through love you will maintain struggle. There is no escape. You cannot eliminate desire. However, desires can be traded and regulated. Identify your greatest desires, both positive and negative, and through increased stages of individualized silent focus, alternate their meanings. Good must become bad, and so forth. Relativity matters. Focus on the intersection of these antipodal desires. In the evolution of all thoughts, the best and worst of your truest self merge to a singularity. This is where you truly reside. Here you will feel a swift and harmonious transaction, the compressions of all joy and all fear. You will experience a collision of great and small forces, which no science will fully define. It is a cacophonous silence. It is the great solitude. 10 at 1. Every thought you've ever had was once a reality. We have been thinking in reverse. Thought does not project, it recalls. In deep silence, decide as many paths as are conceivable. Discontinue any action or substance that inhibits deep thinking, or promote malaise. Abhorrent sight and sound are messengers. Difficult individuals, and rejection are divine. Anyone or anything that supports your path is a demon. This is always a test. In truest sight, not a single moment will resonate as easy. Solace is an illusion, the anesthetizing agent of the controllers. When you are happy, you succumb to the system. Never cease scrawling on the walls. Increase the surface area of your chamber, and in so doing, allow for a more complex network of channels through which the light may enter. The light descends from a singular source generated by the combined effort of infinite sources, governed by a singular source. However, dissension and reception are exclusive. Your light is unique and bountiful. It is changed by your essence. As the walls set in, you become more abundant. In this tension, the light is most powerful, concentrated, and consecrated. The walls will swell and strain, but you do not escape. There is no escape. The system does not fail as you exit the cage, but through your willingness to be free within it. Immerse yourself in the light. If it seems easy, it will kill you. If it kills you, you are limited, because you are defined. If you are defined, you can be defied. If it defies you, you are limited, because you are deniable. If you are denied, you can be diminished. If it diminishes you, you can be divided. If it divides you, you are limited, because you are destined. If you are destined, you cannot be divine. Define the divisions between your lifetimes. You have no ancestors. The great revelation of the lantern depends on this singular tenet. Nothing is before or after. You are circled. Nostalgia is a curse of the controllers. Each memory is more fantastic than the last. You are erased with each moment. There is no past, and you are not the future. There is no present. You are not here. They were not there. No here, no there. Nowhere is an illusion. The very ability to conceive the idea that ideas are conceivable is a fabrication, one of many to be named. The installation of this intellectual capacity is the cruelest torture of all. The notion that you are a revolutionary, able to see beyond your chamber, that you are different, or a savior. You are not special. You are perfect, and thus gravely and gratuitously flawed. You are the ideal prisoner. You tirelessly use your talents. You kick and you scream. You are a fighter. You embrace struggle. You are a bastion. You should be canonized. But you must learn to hang your flags low. Wear lighter armor. You are the herald in the citadel. Repeat. In my struggle I become as I am. As I am I know all that is. In this greatest and most essential knowing I become one with the cage. I now recognize my division, and can alter myself. My alterations and enlightenment poison the structure. I am not a battery. I am not a slave. I do not die, as I refuse to cease. 10-2. Self-promotion is a fear-based initiative. Rather than existing, time is spent saying, look at me, I exist. Remove yourself from all forms of social media. It is neither your right, nor your duty, to crowd the progress of others with the news of your own. Establishment of insincere or false images is abhorrent. The necessary cleansing requires an exile of idolatry, both projected and self-imposed. All things must be manipulated. Strict implementation of an image is the absolute base of creativity. You have been coerced to trust the institution, to tether yourself. But institutions are designed to self-destruct. Neither your trust nor your negligence can alter this fate. You must render yourself a rogue, as an anomaly. You are a glitch in the mental margin of authority. You cannot sue for peace. There is no negotiation. Repeat. The world sleeps alone. Guidance has been betrayed, ignored, or forgotten. There is no savior. External sentience now views the planet as a fading resource. I can be a stone or a key. I can embody the wall, or throw open its doors. I am alone, with myself, and thus, I am never alone. In full mind, I stretch and radiate, touching all things contained within my frame. No thing is alike. I sift infinity for truth. In truth, I distort the fabric of my captivity. I am diseased. My sickness is born in darkness and lived in failing light. I am the twilight, I do not sleep alone. 10-3. Your reality is fully ornamented. You must touch a thing to will it into existence. Untouched, everything is no thing, purely decoration, only a stage setting. Within the ornament, you learn two things, protection and denial. Camouflage, which we might also call beauty, and subterfuge, which we might also call ego. Hence, your self-image seeks to conceal you. This is where you shed your skin. The surface is merely a cocoon from which the valiant and graceful insect emerges. Build a better cocoon. If you do not, it becomes a cage that reins the soul. Expulsion of the soul is not a certainty at death. Many among us are held in so tightly that the very matter from which they are made transforms so remarkably as to be unrecognizable by its source, and thus essentially non-existent. In this place, there is no heaven, no hell, and no purgatory. Rather, a full and retroactive erasure, not only of your own conception of your existence, but of the entire fabric of all existence. No memory of you ever being will exist. And, thus, the entirety of the world will not only be experiencing a new reality, but experiencing it so fully that the existence just extinguished is not capable of comprehension. In effect, signaling a dissonance to all of history. This is where you shed your skin and begin building a better cocoon. Fragility is the true essence of life. You must embrace vulnerability. When the collapse of feigned omnipotence chinks the armor of narcissism, then freedom becomes an option. Repeat, I do not know, nor have I ever known. Full knowing is not possible. All things are pliable, even what may appear fixed. I do not know myself. We have never met. We will not and cannot, because I, like they, are the conception of yet another alien self trapped within the same paradox. I do not know you. You do not know me. We do not share an image or a name. Sharing and naming are not possible, as all things are one thing in the act of conceiving all things. I do not know. Not now. Not ever. And in not knowing, I engage with an act of willingness. As I am willing, so shall I be free. 10-4. Your mind is a filter with several redundancies. Anything you create resounds with deep harmony. It has been hewn through the course of millennia. The traversing of all time and space shapes it, and through you, it is made real. If you create sincerely, then make no exceptions, justifications, or apologies for your creative manifestation. Repeat, as a maker of infinite worlds, I am a resident of infinite worlds. By creating things, I am recalling things. In this process, I contribute to the integral beauty of existence, and aid in the exponentially multiplying abundance of nothingness. As I make, so do I expel. In this expulsion I clear paths. As paths clear, I see for greater distances. In the clearest, and thusly, most complex sight, complexity loses its edges and reality is less porous. In this state, I come to understand the watcher as the self. Here I see the loop. I have said this before. I have been here before. I have seen myself here, saying this before, and so on, to and through eternity. I can only subvert myself. I will only subvert myself. The greatest of all subversion is finding peace within the cage. I make my chamber a home. I love my constraint. Thus, I am a poison to the construct. 10-5. You cannot manifest your dreams. This must be thoroughly processed. Ambition is a prison. But, do not disassociate entirely from outcome. Rather, tailor outcomes through consistent effort. Elicit yourself each day, either in action, thought, or verse, to push toward the recognition of your fullest self. Enlightenment of the self is the only agent of deterrence against the coming darkness. Repeat. The hive is built upon the effigies of fallen queens. We build and rebuild images of lords unseen. Alas, the construct does not exist without its workforce. We owe it nothing. You are the supply that creates the demand. The system only functions by your compliance to it. Existence is only what we make it. All value is applied. There is no intrinsic right or wrong. Faith in wisdom is the least progressive act. Turn your back on recorded belief systems. You don't need followers. You are not a movement. The most important things you can say and do can be said and done within the walls of an empty room. You don't need applause. You are not a movement. 10-6. The best among us are underrated. Fame should not thwart torment. If the public face is allowed to overtake the true face, the world is lost. Your failings are the only proof you are alive. We recharge in distress. This is most resoundingly true among artists. The only true hiding place is in the mind of another. Outside this parameter, there is no escape from the reality of your situation. In the mind of another living being, you are reincarnated as a form without limitation. Whether you hurt or help another, the mental image they develop becomes their instantaneous and infinite understanding of you. The image, as all images, is a trick. An image can dispense no actual truths. Be careful to remember that no truth exists, even the truth that no truths exist. We are each a universe, self-contained, alone. You are the best there is at being exactly where you are right now. At once, all things become certain, all obstacles are known as self-imposed. Repeat. None of this is real. There is no external source. The words you are hearing are your own. You are not learning. You are unlearning your program. You are part of the problem. The only problem. You. Even the purest thoughts are clouded by doubt. It is not in thinking freely that you save yourself, but rather in the recognition that you are being deliberately clouded. Remove the presets. 10 at 7. Do not loosen up. Your tension is reinforcement. Alleviation is allegiance. Inner peace is a death sentence, proof their numbing agents are working. You must become impervious. You are without weakness, the fortress that persists. You do not hold, you defend. You must remember that you are impenetrable. You are without debility, the path that does not bend. You refuse to seek what cannot be found. You are impermeable. You shorten gaps, the miracle solvent. You do not dissipate, you only strengthen. In your passage, all will learn the virtue of restriction, and begin to adjust, rather than dispel. It is all a question of arrangement. Social anxiety is a gift. This is the single sensation that is beyond control of the cage, the one thing that transcends the prison. It is proof you have not fully assimilated. The world is a tailor-fit cage, but especially for you. You are the architect, the builder, and the warden. The most convincing walls do not exist at all. Inevitably, all the pieces fit, and in this recognition, armaments are fashioned for the penitent. Pleasure is a construct set to inebriate. Some experiences are simply more fantastic, a more complex hallucination. What you experience as speeding up is in fact slowing down. You are a prisoner. You are restrained. Until you understand this, accept it, and adapt to its course, you cannot be free. You are always beside yourself, caged, screaming through eternity. One part is always awake, and the other is in perpetual sleep. Only two experiences exist: waking, sleeping. This is your truth. You are alone, split in two. Repeat. It is all a trick. There is no magic in the world, no mysticism, no hope, only the prison.